See what's making the headlines. Museveni hails the legacy left by late Reverend Sserwadda. State Minister for Works and Transport Musa Ichweru assesses construction works at Katonga Bridge. Banks in Uganda urged to embrace modern technology for efficiency and better service delivery. And a community football tournament keeps children off the streets, fights teenage pregnancy and drug abuse. For the second edition of UBC News Tonight. In our first report, President Yoweri Museveni has commended the children of late Reverend Sserwadda for honoring his legacy by constructing a church in his memory. In a speech delivered by the Deputy Speaker of Parliament, Thomas Tayewa, the President recalls Reverend Sserwadda, a courageous individual who defied negative African traditions and served God, and ensured the education of his children, including the girls, like the head Investors Protection Unit, Colonel Edith Nakalema Asuzoa. Take a look.
President Yoweri Museveni commended the children of the late Reverend Sserwadda for honoring his legacy by constructing a church in his memory, which was inaugurated on Sunday in Kashari Town Council, Mbarara District.
Mama Janet and I joined the family of Moureen Babirye to commemorate and celebrate the life of their father, who departed from our midst a year ago.
President recalls Reverend Sserwadda as a courageous individual who defied negative African traditions, served God, and ensured the education of his children, like the head of Investors Protection Unit, Colonel Edith Nakalema Asuzoa.
The new converts stopped the worship of spirits, Emmanuel, gave up drinking alcohol, stopped sharing the drinking pots, which spread diseases among people. They learned to boil milk and water for drinking, and the majority took their children to school, including the girls. Previously, only boys were sent to school, while the girls stayed at home, preoccupied with house chores, that is cooking, fetching water, etc. This negative tradition was eliminated by the revival vanguard families. You can see how the late Sserwadda prioritized the education of all his children despite his meager resources. Therefore, Christianity ushered in enlightenment to individuals and communities.
The memorial service, organized by the family members, led by the senior army officer and anti-corruption advocate, Colonel Edith Nakalema, was also to unveil a church built in the father's memory.
He said to my daughter, I know you're going to build that church. That was on 6th. On 7th, he went and preached in Reshangu a long sermon, and on 8th, he passed on. So I went to these friends and brothers, and I said, I am not going to look for His Excellency the President to help me on the instruction of my father. He told me as a daughter, I have brothers, I have sisters. I said, we are going to build a church. And we are here to say thank you very much. We have built this church.
She remembers her father as a wonderful parent with no money, but with a lot of love and care.
Friends, I want to tell you that it is not money, it is not property that makes people happy. It is the love that you give to your children that will make them who they are, wherever they will be. The love that has the touch, your physical presence. My father's hand, my father had soft, big hands.
The Archbishop of the Church of Uganda, Right Reverend Stephen Kazimba Mugaru, commended Reverend Sserwadda for being committed to the service of God.
You can do good things minus Jesus. good things can be very good for that. So the main important thing why we remember this man, he accepted Jesus Christ as his personal savior.
He encouraged the Ugandans to desist from preaching hatred, but urged the populace to embrace love.
I want to invite you as God's people and as Ugandans, let us promote love instead of hatred. Let us promote forgiveness to one another and reconciliation, because this is our country. Love should be the language we speak everywhere. Don't be diverted by other things. Let it be tribe.
The chairman, Reverend Sserwadda Foundation, Professor Justice Andrew Kauha, says it was befitting to construct a church in Reverend Sserwadda's memory.
Reverend Sserwadda was rooted in religious tradition, founded in the revival movement, strong spiritually and built on a strong moral foundation.
The event attracted several top government officials, members of parliament, army generals, senior police officers, and Kashari residents. Philippa Gutta for UBC News in Mbarara.
Thank you, Philippa Gutta. In more news, the State Minister for Works and Transport, Musa Echweru, has assured the public that construction works at Katonga Bridge are progressing well and will soon be motorable. The minister was monitoring the project across Kalungu, Gomba, and Mpigi districts.
The State Minister for Works, Musa Echweru, led a team of engineers from the ministry to Katonga Bridge to assess the work progress. The tour commenced the 5-kilometer swamp section connecting Kalungu and Gomba districts. The project at this section is being handled by Rodo Construction Company, a local contractor. Here, the bridge had collapsed, cutting off access between Bugomora sub-county in Kalungu and Kifamba in Gomba district. Travelers used engine boats to cross the flooded section. Area residents say the situation has greatly affected their daily lives.
It costs them a bit of money because this is now an initiative of local people, and also denies them the capacity of the goods and the trade that should be happening here. But the good news is that in the next few weeks and months, the contractor is going to block that part of the river and cause a diversion and open the channels that he has already completed to allow water to be going through those bridges. Once that is done, then traffic can start moving here. The road will not be complete, but traffic can be moving now here.
Minister Echweru assured residents that the road works will be completed within 5 months and temporary diversion is currently being worked upon to ease movement. The minister dismissed allegations regarding delayed funding of the project, emphasizing that the project is fully funded by the government of Uganda.
This bridge is funded 100% by government of Uganda. 100% by the government of Uganda. We continue to plead to our partners to help us do other parts of the country, do other roads. But this bridge is 100% funded by the government of Uganda.
Minister Echweru says the bridge will be ready for use by April this year, with the official handover to government expected in October.
That the commitment of the contractor and his team and my people in the office who are supervising is to deliver this road before the 2 years elapse. They are going to beat the time and a little bit conclude this a little earlier.
The contract manager and managing director Rodo Construction, Engineer Albert Oleja and Robert Wanimbi, pledged to deliver the project within the agreed timeline. The Katonga Upper Stream Bridge project is estimated to cost 63 billion shillings.
We are supposed to do it up to the end of December, but we think that by June to July we shall be concluding this project.
Meanwhile, after inspecting the upper stream works, the minister proceeded to Katonga Lower Stream Bridge along the Kampala-Masaka Highway project being implemented by CCCC, a Chinese construction company. The Assistant Commissioner for Road Maintenance at the Ministry, Engineer Rose Ngozebwa, pledged close supervision to ensure quality work.
For us as a ministry, we have to ensure that the works are of high quality and the projects are delivered in time.
The resident district commissioner from PG District, Sarah Nanono Kawesi, asked the ministry to enforce tonnage limit once the bridge is completed to ensure durability.
They have to put it in consideration, because if a truck is supposed to take like 26 tons, why do they allow a truck to take 40 tons?
Katonga Bridge project falls under the reconstruction of swamp crossings along the Kampala-Masaka Highway, including Lwera, Karandazi, the Katonga, with an estimated total cost of 190 billion shillings.
Bank employees across Uganda have been urged to embrace modern technology to boost efficiency and enhance service delivery. This call was made by the Minister of Science, Technology and Innovation, Dr. Chris Bariomonsi, during a training session for Uganda Development Bank staff at the National Leadership Institute in Chankwanzi.
With the rise of technologies like artificial intelligence (AI), new opportunities are emerging to transform the banking sector, improving operational efficiency and streamlining processes.
Obligations, then we have a fallback position. Now, when it gets to mortgaging or perfection of a landed collateral, we're still unfortunately using wet ink. There has been a proposal in the pipeline for a very long time by Ministry of Lands for them to digitalize the process, but I don't know where the challenges are. Unfortunately, that hasn't taken off.
Minister Bariomonsi addressed the staff after completing leadership and national service training at the National Leadership Institute Chankwanzi. He says adopting modern technologies in banking will enhance operational performance and improve financial services for the public.
An institution to satisfy our customers and many other things, because banks now and other financial institutions, the architecture has also changed.
Dr. Bariomonsi emphasized leveraging technology, urging bank employees to embrace these advancements. He noted that many Ugandans stand to benefit from these innovations, which can also help reduce operational costs.
Etekema amanyi mu kya teknologiya baweereza obuweereza bulungi kubanga banka tezikyali banka ezedda ebizimbe okuweereza n'owandiika mu bitabo. Ennaku zino banka n'ebitongole ebyenjawulo bikozesa byakalimagezi. Ensonga lwaba nti osobola kukozesa esimu n'ojja ssente ku akawunti yo n'ozisindikira omuntu ku mobile money ng'otoyingidde mu banka. Ensonga lwaba banka tezirina za ATMs ogenda n'akakaadi n'ojjayo esente kubanga kati ebya tekinologiya bireetera obuweereza okubeera obulungi. Kati ffe nga ministry eya ICT tujja kuba tukolagana ne banka eya UDB okulaba nti tubiteekemu amaanyi okukolagana nabo okulaba nti erya tekinologiya byebitambuza emirimu.
Government is drafting laws to ensure that systems align with current tech trends. A proposal will be introduced in Parliament.
Walimu emikutu eya social media nungi kubanga etuyamba ku communicatinga kwogera naye waliwo abo bagikozesa bubi. Twandiise eteeka policy nga ministry ekwata ku lya communication walimu na lya social media egenda kutuyamba okulungamya engero y'abantu bakozesa mu social media. Twagala social media tugikozesa ogw'enkulaakulana, si wakugikozesa kufuma abantu, okuleeta obukyayi, okuleeta ebyo ebitazimba. Tugenda kugula n'ebyoma tekinologiya empya egenda kutuyamba okufilitalinga kubanga waliwo abakozesa social media bubi.
Dr. Bariomonsi was optimistic that affordable smartphones priced at as low as 40,000 Ugandan shillings are making it easier for more people to access services. Mike Bakabulindi compiled this report.
Thank you so much for that report, and apologies, our dear viewer. That was the Minister of ICT and National Guidance Minister Chris Bariomonsi. Now, away from that, the PFF Secretary General Azizi Kariejira says that the victory was attributed to the party structures put in place and the teamwork during the voting process. Senior leaders in the People's Front for Freedom Party have celebrated their 2 MPs who won in the recently concluded general elections. Honorable Betty Ayol Achan took the Gulu City Woman Member of Parliament seat, and Honorable Asinanasi Nyakato took the Hoima City Woman Member of Parliament, both former FDC members. Take a look.
Kariejira made the remarks during the celebrations for the party's win, having managed to at least get 2 members of parliament in the just concluded elections.
Easy, but as a new party and as the administrator of the party, that is PFF, I'm very happy for the trust that people gave me because I was the chairperson campaign task force.
He emphasized reconciliation among all political parties, which the country needs for the development.
This is a struggle, much as our mentor, our engine, that is retired Colonel Dr. Kiza Besigye, is still in the prison. We managed to come up and say, with or without him, the struggle must continue. He's in prison, yes, but we are struggling. We are going to build on this to demand for his fair trial or even unconditional release.
Honorable Asnas Nakato, the newly elected Hoima Member of Parliament, garnered 17,000 votes, leaving her closest contender, NRM's Princess Diana Mujenyi, with 15,000 votes.
I want to assure them that as my manifesto stood before them, that I'm going to add my voice to advocate tirelessly for Bunyoro University. I'm going to make sure that I fulfill what I prayed for my people of Hoima City and Bunyoro.
Hoima City male Member of Parliament, Ismail Kasule, and Mayor Isingoma Edward, both independent, say the city is embattled with garbage, something that will be key on agenda as soon as they are sworn into office.
Garbage or rubbish within the city. We have had some visits, what you would call benchmarking in Mbarara, Masaka, and also in Gulu and Lira. And the issue was to find out best practices that they use in these areas to be able to manage garbage. And I want to believe that the moment we come into office, we shall be able to deal with the garbage.
Now is to ensure that we work for the people. We look at the issues that people best on to vote for us. So we are going to have very many engagements because what we promised our people, that we are going to ensure that we develop the Bunyoro agenda.
Following previous party grievances within the Forum for Democratic Change opposition party, a faction of former members registered a new party known as People's Front for Freedom under the guidance of Dr. Kiza Besigye, who's currently remanded at Ruzira prisons. Reporting for ABC TV, Helen Barbara, Gizamba.
Thank you, Helen Gizamba, for that report. The Bishop of Busoga Diocese, Right Reverend Professor Grace Lubale, has urged Christians to be good stewards of their body, time, possession, and talents. During his pastoral tour at Mafubida in Chamagwa Parish in Jinja City, Professor Lubale hinted on the new financial system and other developments in Busoga Diocese following the just concluded synod.
Confirm and strengthen these your servants with your Holy Spirit, that may be yours forever and ever. Amen.
I'm Henry Tibaje Julius, the General Secretary of Chamagwa Parish. My request to the Bishop and the entire clergy is that the mission to reach out to each and every person to receive Jesus Christ, I think should be the key factor. And then proper accountability in the diocese, and then to see that at least the diocesan institution is at least accounted for in a good manner.
Professor Grace Lubale, the Bishop of Busoga Diocese. Today I was here at Chamagwa Parish one of the parishes I have in the diocese to oversee, and I was doing confirmation service and doing pastoral general visit. The message I did on emphasize was stewardship. That these candidates who have been confirmed be good stewards of their body, time, possession, and talent. That's one of the pillars of the church. When you're a good steward, the outcome is that you benefit yourself, you benefit your family, the church, and the nation. And so everyone is satisfied with your work. When you keep on your talent, on your work, if you're a bad steward, you harm everyone. We deliberated on many things, and the key of that was to introduce a quota financial system where each parish has been allocated money to pay within the year, and that will be done. The same synod we passed to create Wakita Cash Deaconry the next labor year, which will begin on 29th March 2025. And the same synod we passed to manage our schools very well, and the financial system involves that the clergy will be paid and the lay reader will be paid, and that does be much better than ever.
You're still a diligent viewer. Now UBC News Tonight returns after the break.
So, Muchala.
Yes, Daddy.
You know the children are going back to school and things are a bit tight. For now, why don't you take half of the fees to junior school, and for the school van contribution, we shall pay later.
Daddy, why don't we pay using MTN Momo, where we stand a chance of winning school fees for a whole year and more? By the way, you can also apply for a school fees loan, and also participating schools can win a school van.
That's right! Win school fees for a whole year and more. Get Momo goodies and a school van for participating schools. You can also apply for a school fees loan. Simply dial *165 *80# or use the Momo app.
So, Muchala.
Yes, Daddy.
You know the children are going back to school and things are a bit tight. For now, why don't you take half of the fees to junior school, and for the school van contribution, we shall pay later.
Daddy, why don't we pay using MTN Momo, where we stand a chance of winning school fees for a whole year and more? By the way, you can also apply for a school fees loan, and also participating schools can win a school van.
That's right! Win school fees for a whole year and more. Get Momo goodies and a school van for participating schools. You can also apply for a school fees loan. Simply dial *165 *80# or use the Momo app.
And now in business, Uganda's tourism sector is more than a showcase of wildlife and scenery, but a mirror of the country's political history, economic recovery, and future ambition. Despite being a regional tourism leader in the 1960s during years of instability, Uganda's travel, investment, and hospitality was crippled. But with peace restored and infrastructure improving, tourism is a strategic driver of economic growth, job creation, foreign exchange, honor, and community development. Take a look.
In the years that followed independence, Uganda had one of East Africa's most attractive tourist destinations. Government invested in the sector and built lodges, hotels, and supported national parks. Tourists traveled from Europe, America, and across the region to visit Uganda's wildlife, landscapes, and hospitality.
The policy of government during the Ojera Obote period, you remember, was the 3 T's and the 3 C's. And that was tea, tobacco, tourism, tea, tobacco, tourism, and 3 C's, coffee, cotton, copper. That was the development policy then.
That early success, however, was not sustained. Political turmoil, insecurity, and economic decline forced many hotels to close, parks to fall silent as international tourists kept away. Uganda's tourism sector nearly collapsed.
Tourism in Kenya, Tanzania, Tanganyika at that time were also developing, but not at the tempo, at the level of Uganda. But because of the turmoil which was experienced here in Uganda, our tourism industry collapsed. And we are now trying to build it up. And I think that we are doing very well.
Government is actively promoting domestic tourism, encouraging Ugandans to travel, relax, and spend within their own country. This shift has created new opportunities for hotels, transporters, tour operators, and small businesses across the tourism value chain.
I was attracted to Kasese to invest. Of course, we have Simba Safari Camp, we have Elephant Plains, we've got MV Kazinga. It's one of our biggest investment focus center because of the potential that it has. Of course, it has also been marred by either bad communication about the ADF or the ADF itself. That has actually killed the potential that Kasese has.
We need good roads. Tourists can no longer go through that kind of dust, isn't it? And get stuck on the way. You lose them. So somebody would like to land at Entebbe, be picked by a beautiful vehicle, take him to his hotel, and if possible the following day fly.
At the center of Uganda's tourism revival is its extraordinary biodiversity. The country remains one of the world's most biologically diverse destinations, a fact that continues to attract nature lovers, researchers, and conservationists.
Since Uganda was created as a country, we had 1.65 million tourists visiting Uganda in 2025. This has never happened in Uganda's history. And we were able to raise $1.7 billion. This is a figure we have also never collected since this country started.
Uganda is linking tourism to culture, traditional knowledge, and community livelihoods, including protection of medicinal and aromatic plants that support health care and rural incomes. Tourism will generate revenue, create more jobs, and contribute to national development. New policies aim to lengthen visitor stays, diversify tourism products, and increase average tourist spending.
By 2030, we want to contribute $4 billion per year, the tourism sector. And that will be good for our country. And I personally would like to see 3 to 4 million tourists.
From the wildlife parks of the north to the cultural landscapes of the west and the water bodies of the east, Uganda's tourism sector is being reshaped into a pillar of economic transformation. Henry Okrut, UBC.
Thank you, Henry Okrut, for that elaborative report. Now, still relatedly, Uganda's diaspora community in Australia has used the Canberra Multicultural Festival to showcase culture, strengthen identity, and deepen ties between Uganda and Australia. The annual festival brought together migrant communities from across the world, with Uganda standing out through culture performances, food, storytelling, and tourism promotion.
The Canberra Multicultural Festival offers a platform to express identity, build belonging, and strengthen people-to-people connections.
Amazing landscapes.
Yeah.
The animals, all amazing.
Yeah.
Massive gorillas, which I've been told I need to meet one day.
Yeah, you need to.
And then I've also been told ladies have massive boom boom. That's my main selling point on trying to get me to Uganda.
Yeah, I've been in Australia for around 20 years.
Yeah.
One of my best friends is actually from Uganda, from Kampala, so I'm very interested in the country. Unfortunately, I've never been to Uganda.
Uganda's High Commissioner to Australia, Her Excellency Dorothy Samari, described Uganda's participation strengthens social cohesion and bilateral relations.
We are here at a multicultural festival in Canberra. And as a mission, we are participating. We have set up a stall, and we shall be meeting people to people. But the story, I want the visitors who visit us and the Australians who interact with us to take away from Uganda as a multicultural country. We have different cultures in Uganda, which vary from region to region. For instance, as you move in Uganda, in terms of food, you'll be in position to come across the bamboo shoots, which we call Malewa in the east. As you move in the central, you'll be in position to eat the Ruwombo.
Tourism officials highlighted the role of cultural exposure in promoting Uganda as a destination for Australian travelers and investors. So, such cultural encounters inspire future tourism and partnerships.
Omuntu ng'ajja mu Uganda abamu bagamba nti tulina ebyobulambuzi 5 naye ate Uganda erina 7 nga nsookera ddala ku bantu b'osanga e Uganda omukwano okwaniriza olw'empisa ze balina kujja kuwa ekifaananyi ekirungi nga wakatuuka. Bannange bw'oba olina ku ssente osobola okujja mu nsi nga zino kiba kirungi nnyo kubanga oba omanya ebintu bingi omuzungu kyeyaniisa exposure. Abaganda bagamba atannatambulatambula yatenda nnyina okufumba. Badde mbakubiriza mutambule mulabe ensi bwetambula. Kati nga nze naliko mu United Kingdom nengendako e China kati ndi wano Australia mu Pacific.
The members of the Uganda diaspora say the festival helps younger generations to promote unity within Australia's multicultural society.
Olunaku bwe luti lutugatta ffenna awamu kwegamba naffe ne kituyamba okukwata ekitone kyaffe tukikole ki tukiriisa abantu kugamba ne tubawaako kasavu kanyama aye nekyalo n'okulaba ne culture ne tulaba n'eggulu endala n'ebyobuwangwa eby'abantu abalala ne bino bituzimba so omuntu awangaalira eno kikutukiza ewaka n'olaba ku Uganda waragi n'olaba kalo okitegeera.
Ambantu Machabe Semambo for UBC.
In more news, the Hotel Union has started training domestic workers and returnees from the Middle East on their social and economic rights. The training equips returnees with skills which they can utilize and invest to improve their livelihoods. Domestic workers are among the most exploited laborers in Uganda, yet many continue to work without contracts, minimum wage protection, or medical insurance.
The Uganda Hotels, Food Tourism, Supermarkets and Allied Workers Union offices in Wakaliga, domestic workers and returnees from the Middle East trained to understand their rights and obligations.
Sometimes at work, I face some challenges. So whenever I get a challenge at work, I solve it with my boss amicably. Because Workers Union has been training us how you can handle yourself at work, your obligations, do's and undo's at work.
Wagodia says the HTS handbook provided by Union has helped workers understand their rights, including safety, fair treatment, and the right to be heard.
Everything is there, so it guides us very well. And even it shows the rights of a domestic worker at work. Have a right to eat, have a right to be in a safe environment where he stays. And when he makes a mistake, or she makes a mistake, he have a right to be heard, listened to.
However, domestic workers say low pay remains a major challenge, with some earning as little as 40,000 shillings a month.
Let the government sign it. There is a document, there is a law which they made some time back, which the government didn't sign. We are requesting the government to sign that law so that whoever works, wherever he works or she works, to get minimum wage. Starting point, a recognized wage. Because some like housemaids around within Kororo, even in Kampala, we have some house girls who are getting 40,000 a month. Some they are getting 80. When that one is signed, at least it will be somehow okay.
Migrant workers returning home say many face contract violations, long working hours and abuse in the Middle East.
We signed a contract that said I have to work for 8 hours, but later on when I reached there, I had to work for 16 hours, which is not fair to me. I was to have an off, but he refused to that. But when I reached there, I had to work in 3 houses.
The sector lacks legal enforcement, harassment and absence of formal protection mechanisms.
For example, a right to have a contract, a right to medical care. Many of these are still lacking, despite the many policies that we have in this country that are yet to be ratified.
The union has introduced skilling programs such as soap making, tailoring and salon training as an alternative source of income.
So we've come up with a skilling program. We want to empower them so that they are able to do something that can bring for them income.
Thank you so much for that report. Uganda's education sector is increasingly embracing practical skills alongside academic learning to prepare learners for a dynamic future. Education stakeholders say schools that integrate talent development, digital learning and hands-on training are producing more confident and innovative pupils. This approach is shaping a new generation equipped with both classroom knowledge and real-life competences needed to thrive in a rapidly changing world. We have a report.
To come and speak.
First of all, we really guide our children, we inspire them, we motivate them, we guide them into the future. And at the same time, we model them in terms of skills, whereby we have swimming, we have a wonderful swimming pool, we have baking, we have tailoring, we have music. Our children really, you can see some of you have attended how they were drumming. They are the one who were drumming. The younger one, who is in the nursery, who was playing the piano. So we encourage them at a younger age. Even in agriculture, they do brooding, they do pottery rearing, nursery beds, they do all of this. Not forgetting even the ICT. Because we have a computer lab, even we have a mini science lab, we have it all. We don't get any support. In particular, we started around COVID. Government never supported us at all. Instead, we are getting taxation, which is further hitting us down.
We go out of class, and all this is to equip children with soft skills that can even help them survive after school. So much as the academic is important, but there is life beyond academic. And at Muhika, that is exactly what we do. We offer extracurricular activities that will equip children with soft skills, with survival skills, even after school.
We have a lot in stock.
In more news, Christians in Chenjojo district have said, including Emioga and the Parish Development Model Government programs, has economically empowered communities. At Butiti Cathol Parish, increased household incomes enabled Christians and well-wishers to construct a new multi-million shilling church after the old one developed cracks and was condemned. Take a look.
The newly built Our Lady of Salvation Butiti Catholic Church stands out as a magnificent landmark for believers. The parish priest, Reverend Father Dr. Bernard Bitekeruza, said the Uganda shilling 5.5 billion church was constructed over 5 years through strong leadership and Christian mobilization.
There was a need to build a new church, and the old one had significant cracks, and it could not really serve the signs of the time. So I worked hand in hand with our Christians, and we are able now to have this church. We are in its final stages.
Kandi tusobera okwombeka ekleziya enu bwana mukuru natukonyera natwebembera mu kuseera sente kandi abakristo bakaseera sente kuraba mu kusiima okwa Christmas, mu kusiima okwa Easter.
However, Christians say government programs made fundraising easier compared to the past. The Chenjojo District Council Speaker confirmed improved community participation due to economic empowerment.
The government is doing quite a number of programs in our district from which our parishioners have been able to get personal incomes. And for us as a government, we are happy that from the programs we are giving to the people, they are also able to get money and fund the construction of this very big church. The peaceful government atmosphere and favorable economic conditions existing in the country, that the parishioners have been able to get funds to put up such a good and magnificent church.
The Council of the Laity chairperson said the church has attracted converts from other denominations.
The number of Christians has increased through baptism, and others have been converted from other religions and sects around because of the spiritual growth and the support we've got from the leadership of this church.
The leaders say the church will focus on both spiritual and socio-economic transformation. In the meantime, Uganda shillings 680 million is still required.
We need pews to be placed in our church, and the cost of these pews is 680 million Ugandan shillings. So we are appealing to all those, to the well-wishers who can help us or give us a hand so that we can fix these pews in the church.
People will continue to flow in big numbers to come and have a view at it, probably look at the history of religion in this area and so many other things, out of which we shall be able to generate some income as a district and maybe as a parish as people continue to be flowing in to look at the church.
The inauguration is slated for 21st March 2026. Abiona Francisco, UBC News.
And that brings us to the end of our bulletin tonight. Thank you so much for staying with us to the very end. My name is Moureen Babirye with my colleague Mohamed Mogalo on sign language. We bid you good night.